Hi, welcome to my channel, Reader Woman. My name's Judy, and let's talk book tags. I'm really excited today. I was tagged for the very first time in my channel history by Alba at Seriella. And I'm very sorry, Alba, for mispronouncing your channel name, but that's as good as this Anglo can do. She lives in Puerto Rico. Is a very interesting lady, and she really reads a lot of history, a lot of it based on the history of Puerto Rico as well as surrounding islands. And anyways, I have a link below to her channel. Be sure to check her out. And this particular book tag, it's the small BookTuber tag, came from Die Kitty Reads. And she created this tag in actually January of 2018. So it's been around a while, and she made it in response to the changes that YouTube had made on small subscribers. You had to have like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours, minutes, I don't know what, of content being watched in order to qualify for any kind of compensation. That's never been my focus. However, you know, none of us would turn down some free money or a free book every once in a while. So anyways, I've also put a link below to the original tag, and so yeah, check it all out. Number 1, introduce yourself. Once again, my name is Judy. I live in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, small town called Bellingham, close to the Canadian border, about 30 minutes away from the border. About an hour away from Seattle, so best of both worlds. It's perched on Bellingham Bay, and so no matter where you live in the city, you're not that far from the water, and which is really special. I originally came from, born and raised in Southern California. Glad to be away from it. I definitely prefer the Pacific Northwest. However, the rain does get to me every once in a while. I am a long time small business person. I worked for my dad and out of college, and then in his print shop, and then my brother and I ended up buying that from him. We're still running it. It's had its changes along the time, but yeah, it's still a going concern. I've done a little of everything, you know, therefore, you know, bookkeeping, graphic design, typesetting, customer service, all of that. And so, yeah, you know, that's kind of my background. I grew up loving books, and I think one of the first books I got was Mother Goose, and I'd love to have my mom and dad read that to me, and they did. Particularly my mom read to me as a child, and then, I don't know, probably when I was about 5 or 6, I started just reading, and my mom just sort of said, yep, go read. I'm not going to read to you anymore, which was a sad time, but I survived. And yeah, ever since then, my nose was stuck in a book. So yeah, long time book lover, and I just can't imagine not having books in my life. Number 2, how long have you been on BookTube? I looked it up, and I started in March of 2018. I have, you know, I had a illness scare last year, and I just stopped making videos for a good portion of that. So, you know, while the date is long, you know, over a year. It's like, I took probably, yeah, like I said, 8 months off. So I think I've probably really been doing this for 6 or 8 months. So what types of videos do you make? I make a lot of tag videos. I also do book reviews. Books that I have read that I feel strongly about, I like to make a review. I don't read the latest and greatest, the most current books. So, so I'm just putting it out there for general interest. I realize that nobody's going to say, oh my goodness, I've got to go get that book when it's been out for, you know, 10 or 20 years or longer. However, I do like to put my 2 cents in as to what I thought about it. I also do some general, you know, kind of hauls, not so much TBRs. I'm not good at sticking to a plan on what I'm going to read next. I just pick whatever I'm in the mood for. And I also have done a little reviewing of TV shows that are based on books, and I do see myself in the future doing movie book reviews as well. That's something I enjoy. So, number 4, what do you love about BookTube? Well, it's the reason I got involved. People talking about books. I don't always love the books that everybody's reading, but I love the excitement, I love the engagement, and I just love that there's a conversation about books in this world, that we have a place that we can talk about these wonderful tomes of information and pleasure and just ideas that enrich us in our lives, and also hopefully give us more compassion for others, and perhaps more insights into why, you know, why perhaps people do certain things. I just feel like, and being part of that conversation was an important reason why I started this channel. And so, yeah, that's what I love about BookTube, is that we're all talking about books in one way or another. Number 5, what types of books do you read? Well, I won't say I'm an omnivore, because I'm not anymore. At one time I used to be, but I'm not. I love fiction. I love the fact that it's trying to, the author has the audacity to believe that they actually know what someone else is thinking, which gives me as a reader the fallacy that I know what someone is thinking in their head. I don't always know what I'm thinking in my head. So when we say fiction, we mean fiction, made up stories. But I take great pleasure in them. And they've just really enriched my life. I like history. I like biography. I like science fiction. I like fantasy. I'm so on romances. At the beginning of the year, I suddenly got into this whole Regency romance. I must have read, I don't know, 10 of them. And then I'd had enough. I like mysteries. However, most of those subgenres I have relegated to my Kindle. I don't collect them physically. Very rarely do I actually get a hard copy. When I downsized my library, that was, you know, the mysteries, even the sci-fi. I've just kept special collections that mean a lot to me that I will reread. But yeah, for the most part, it's all gone. And I'm okay with that. If I want to read it, I'll just buy it on my Kindle. I'm okay not having the physical copy. Now, I can't say that about other books. Because one thing I do like is to, my favorite authors of literature. I like to collect also, as well as their books, I like to collect their biographies and also just general history of the time so that I can have a greater understanding of what they were doing within their time frame. So, so quite often it's like with James Joyce. I've been a huge fan, you know, since I was 16. So as well as having, you know, Ulysses, The Dubliners, Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, Finnegan's Wake. You know, I also have the Elman, James Joyce. I have James Joyce's Ireland, and a lovely little thing that Edna O'Brien wrote about James Joyce, and a couple of other things as well. Just miscellaneous, you know, I just kind of collect that. It's something I find of interest in, and I group that all together. I don't separate them. They're there because of one central figure. So, and like Virginia Woolf, I've collected her diaries. Not as much of her literature as I want to. But I also have this beautiful little edition called The Common Reader that she wrote. So, you know, I like to, you know, have a sense of where they came from. Okay. Then, what's your favorite video that you've made? I really enjoyed, at the very beginning, I had a few interviews with my niece in California before she headed off to college. And that was fun. It was very fun. But I really don't have somebody in my life close enough to do interviews with. But I would like to do some more interviews. And it's interesting too, certain, you know, from a small booktuber standpoint, it's not always what you like as much as what gets attention. And, you know, one of my loves is P.G. Wodehouse. I have enjoyed his world immensely. I discovered him in my 20s and have just been reading and rereading ever since. And, but you put his name on something and there's a lot of people taking notice, more so. So, so I definitely see that I would want to do more with his work. And, you know, and like I said earlier, I'd like to do the book movie combo. So we'll see. We'll see how that comes out. Then Die Kitty Reads wanted me to tag at least 4 small booktube channels, or every small channel you can think of. I don't have a great list. I just have a couple of people I was wanting to tag. Lindsay Reads. I've enjoyed her videos, and she does a lot of content on her tablet, which I appreciate, how hard it is to get a tablet cover to show up well. And she has a wide variety of books that she's reading. So I tag her. And I also want to tag an enthusiastic reader. She and I have a lot in common when it comes to our taste in books. So I would like to see what she had to say about this tag. So if you are a small booktuber, please make a video. Let me know, because I think that as small booktube people, we do have to stick together. I'm going to digress just a hair here, but I find it a fascinating thing, BookTube. You have these young ladies, for the most part, who started 8 years ago, 10 years ago, when they were teenagers, and a lot of them have huge numbers of subscribers. Not necessarily huge numbers in comparison to the whole YouTube, but for BookTube to have over 100,000 subscribers is huge. And then you have, that kind of middle place, anywhere from 5 to 20,000, it seems like. And then you have, who are trying to, some of them at least are trying to make some income from BookTube. It'll be interesting to see if they can. I'm talking like the guys at Stripped Cover Lit. It'll be interesting to see whether they're able to make that dream come true. And then you have, but I mean, that echelon too, a lot of them get these free books, which I've kind of come to the conclusion, yeah, there's a part of me, I love bright, shiny things. However, I don't know how well I would do if somebody were to send me a free book, because then I'd have to read it. And I'm not that kind of reader. I read what I want when I want. So the pressure of having to read something, I'm not sure how well I'd do. So at this point, I'm quite content not to have that pressure. But then you have all of the rest of us who are, 1,000 or less, 2,000 or less. And, hopefully we can all keep going, because it's, I think that everybody wants to grow, grow, grow. And I've had my dream. We'll see if I make it. But it was a literal dream, as I've said before, of having 64 subscribers. And once I hit 64 subscribers, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to not. I think that having 64 subscribers would be awesome. But, I know for a lot of people to have greater numbers, which equals, just more of everything. And yeah, I think that for those who are wanting it or needing it, it would be nice if BookTube could provide a little income for everybody who wants it. And so yeah, we'll see. So definitely, I feel like if you are a small booktuber, you need to do this one. Anyways, I had fun. Thank you, Alba, for including me in your tag, or for tagging me. And anyways, I tag you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more bookish content, subscribe. Think about subscribing. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.